Hey, tonight at 6, what President Donald Trump's address to the nation defending his economic policies means for Alaskans.
We've got our political reporter, Will Courtney, who just listened in on that speech. It wrapped up about half an hour ago, Will. With a huge military population, the president said a dividend for active duty members is on the way.
That's right. John Augusta, the governor, says we have about 21,000 active duty military members serving in Alaska. And the president today saying during this speech, he's going to be sending a $1,776 bonus check to U.S. troops for Christmas, and we're working to learn more on those details. Much of this, the rest of nearly half of his half-hour speech was focused on affordability. But as far as plans to reduce costs, the president did not mention what's coming, spending much of the time using graphs to cite what he characterized as the strengths of the economy, including gas and lower prescription prices and private sector job growth. This comes as the latest Associated Press poll found just 31% of U.S. adults approve of how the president is doing in office. We also did not hear a plan for extending those Obamacare subsidies we've talked so much about, which expire at the beginning of the year. That will make health care more expensive for 28,000 Alaskans who receive them. Both Alaska senators supported bills to extend those subsidies. The president said he supports sending Americans money directly instead.
The money should go to the people, that's you, so they can buy their own health insurance, which will give far better benefits at much lower costs. It will be far better health insurance. The current Unaffordable Care Act was created to make insurance companies rich.
Those president's remarks come as the U.S. initiated another strike on an alleged drug boat. That and the situation in Venezuela was not mentioned in tonight's address. However, I spoke with Senator Dan Sullivan earlier today. He saw the video of an earlier controversial strike on one of those alleged drug boats. We'll hear more from him tonight on the Late Edition. John, Augusta.
All right, Will, thanks so much for your reporting. Again, you're going to see him tonight with more on this on the Late Edition. And tonight, a federal grand jury has indicted 2 former state troopers on federal criminal civil rights violations.
The incident happened in Kenai in May of last year. The indictment claims Joseph Miller tased, hit, and kicked someone without legal justification causing injury. The indictment also says Jason Woodruff unjustly told his police canine to bite the victim while not posing as a threat. Both Miller and Woodruff are scheduled to appear in court at a later date. They could both face up to 10 years in prison.
In a statement, the commissioner of Alaska's DPS condemned those actions, saying in part, quote, "The alleged actions of these 2 individuals do not reflect the professionalism of the hundreds of state troopers and DPS employees who serve Alaskans with integrity every day, often in the most challenging conditions in the United States."
The DPS also tells us that Miller, not currently an employee of the state of Alaska, Woodruff is employed by the state but was taken out of service when they learned of the incident. The DPS says that the canine that was involved no longer with the department. And also new tonight, a passenger who tried opening the door to an Alaska Airlines plane while it was in the air last Wednesday has been indicted.
Here's the details now on your screen. The director of public relations and marketing for the airline says it happened on Flight 87 from Deadhorse to Anchorage. Court documents say the passenger was acting erratic when he tried opening the emergency doors. That person was restrained until the plane landed in Anchorage. The passenger has been banned from the airline.
Well, extreme cold impacting a large portion of the state tonight.
While many folks up in Fairbanks are used to sub-zero temperatures, some we talked to today say this year it's hitting a little different.
I used to walk to school, and I can't really anymore because my hands would freeze off, and I don't want that. I've only been here 5 years, and this is like an absurd amount of cold. It's so dry, you keep on getting nosebleeds all the time.
When it's cold, and wintertime's wintertime up here. You layer up. That's what you gotta do.
Make sure to have auto start.
Yes.
Absolutely. Snow removal operations in places like Fairbanks are still suspended due to the falling temperatures. Cancellations are automatic when the thermometer hits 30 degrees below zero at Fairbanks International Airport to prevent equipment damage.
All right, Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry joining us with the forecast. Melissa, you've used the word historic. How do these temperatures compare to what we would normally see?
Yeah, it's not record-setting, but it's definitely not normal for December and some of the coldest extended weather that we have seen in the month of December in a couple decades. Here's a look at those numbers. The temperatures in Fairbanks, again, starting out at 40 below, reaching a high temperature just shy of 30 below. That is more than 30 degrees colder than what is normal for this time of year. You can see the record low temperature, 52 below, but that's a long-standing record all the way back to 1917. Again, we haven't seen consistently cold temperatures at this level in December for quite some time. Now, right now, temperatures still holding at 29 below in Fairbanks, 22 below in McGrath. Anchorage, though, a bit of an anomaly. It's warmer at 18 degrees, but it's a little bit deceptive. That's just because of the wind that we're seeing out closer to the airport. The other thing is it just so depends on where you are in the city. You can see even across the interior such a range from Murphy Dome and Munson Ridge to what we're seeing closer into town. Anchorage, same story, 18 at the airport, but it's 5 below at the Camel Creek Science Center, 0 on Muldoon, 2 on the Anchorage hillside. So again, we're talking about a close to 25-degree difference from one side to the other. A lot of that has to do with the wind. Wind chill right now out at the Anchorage airport, just 3 degrees. And that is because we are still seeing those breezy winds gusting to 32 miles per hour right now in Anchorage, 58 in Palmer, nearly 50 in Valdez as well. So again, that wind making it feel even colder than it is. As soon as that wind again settles down just a little bit, we'll see temperatures across the city falling into those single digits heading into tomorrow. Fairbanks, 27 below for your high temperature tomorrow, 14 in Juneau, Bethel, a little light snow moving in. And we do have chances for more snow across the state. All of that forecast here in a few minutes.
All right, Melissa, thanks for tracking all of that. And happening now, the Coast Guard has called off their search for 2 mariners who have not been seen since last week.
The Coast Guard says Josiah Bracken and Quinn Witten were said to have been heading to a float house in Camp Coogan Bay from Back Beach in Sitka. We did speak to the Coast Guard today. They say weather has made things difficult the past few days.
The Coast Guard assets were unable to conduct search efforts Monday night due to weather conditions. And since then, they've been searching, and the weather has improved significantly.
Despite the improvement in search conditions, as we said, that search has been called off tonight. We are working to get more information, and we'll update you as soon as we can.
The deadline for owners to claim their dogs that were evacuated after Typhoon Halong has come and gone.
So where does the status of the rescued animals stand? Well, Lauren Maxwell has an update.
I was going to say they're being a little quiet, but once we walk back here, they get loud.
At Anchorage Animal Care and Control, there are just 4 dogs left from Western Alaska. Winter, Mango, Pickles,
He's very sweet.
and Pumbaa, all of whom have been claimed.
So there are people that are expecting their dogs at some point, which is fantastic.
More than 200 dogs were rescued from flooded villages in Western Alaska following Typhoon Halong. About 60 came through the doors of Anchorage Animal Care and Control, but didn't stay long.
We were able to get all those animals placed into foster, and then I know about half of those animals have already been reunited with their owners at this point.
Best Friends Animal Rescue took in more than 100 dogs. About 60 are still in foster care.
In the end, if people hadn't been willing to open their homes, none of these dogs would have had anywhere to go.
She says owners are starting to respond.
But we've been getting lots of calls for people letting us know that they're ready to reunite, so that's been nice. It's good to see those dogs go home.
Back at the shelter, these dogs will soon be on the move, out of the shelter and into loving foster homes until their owners can take them back. Lauren Maxwell, Alaska's news source.
So on J-Bear, hundreds of people braved the cold to lay wreaths on the graves at Fort Richardson National Cemetery.
The weekend gesture was part of the yearly Wreaths Across America event. Our Charlie Fellows takes us there.
There is tough and there is Alaska tough.
May these evergreen wreaths remind us that their legacy lives on, enduring, faithful, and worthy of our continued remembrance.
veterans who fought at Kiskonatu in World War II. Look at our veterans who fought at Chosin Reservoir, the cold conditions that the 8th Army and the 1st Marine Division took. You know, that's cold.
Everyone who serves here in the Arctic feels the warmth of this community despite the Arctic cold. It's the way that we take care of each other. Halt! Halt! Breathe in. Push!
Oh, it's about honoring American soldiers who made the ultimate. And it's about giving back. You never ask nothing in return.
Standing out here in the winter light, making time to honor them is part of what it means to live and serve in Alaska. We show up for each other, regardless of the numbing, bitter cold. We show up regardless of the long dark. We show up for each other, regardless of the circumstances.
Again, that report by our Charlie Fellows. The ceremony was one of more than 5,000 taking place all across the country to honor fallen veterans.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.